Hey, Coach, I'm so excited you found us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe down below, hit the bell up above. That will take care of everything you need. Also, make sure you go down below and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. If you're looking for resources, if you're looking for a one-stop shop, if you're looking for everything that will make you a better basketball coach, you can find it down below at teachhoops.com. Have a great day.
All right, welcome, Coaching Youth Hoops.
Back
Yes.
another week, guys.
Another week.
Man.
Anybody that's watching on YouTube wearing the same outfits as last week, we decided. No, I just kidding.
Trying to keep it consistent,
Consistent. All right, so what's this week's topic, Coach?
We are going to talk. This topic comes up a lot. And we hear it, I see it on our Facebook groups, at the Coaching Youth Hoops Facebook group. I get emails about it at practiceplans.com. I am sure you get it, Teach Hoops as well. Especially you see it at the youth, such a wide range of skill level on a team. How do you coach that? So you have your star player, maybe, somebody that's decent at, maybe 2 or 3 players, and the rest are maybe the 10th players. The parents are forcing them to be in a sport, right? Or they, they just don't really care at all, or just care, but don't have the ability yet. So how do you coach a team with such a wide variety of skill level?
What do you think? I've got some education ideas, but what do you think?
Well, I think, you have to, what I always did in the past was this. If I had an assistant coach, I would get the players who needed to be leveled up. I would have them work a little bit one-on-one with them, or smaller groups, and pull those players out, where then I could focus on the players that had more ability. Okay, well, maybe it's like, coach, I don't have an extra body in there, right? So what I typically do, if I'm doing any type of drill work, I have higher expectations for the better players, and I tell them this is the drill, but then I go over to those individuals and say, but this is what I want you to work on specifically, right? I want you to execute this one thing really well. Like, okay, coach, right? So that's one way to get that I found work, because they, the players maybe who are lacking the skills say, oh, even the best players working on the same thing, and then the best player, I just whispered in their ear, hey, I need you to focus on this, and they feel
Right.
special as well. So
it's from an educational standpoint, they call it scaffolding. So you want to scaffold to the specific levels and implement those strategies within your classroom, because sometimes some classes are like embedded honors. You'll have a class of kids that are a wide range. So you want to scaffold, you want to give them, you break it up into chunks. And again, you put, especially when you're doing skill work, you want specific kids working on specific skills. And then that you want to model those specific things for them, talk about it, show them what to do. And that's how you can kind of break up. So you're right. What you're doing is you're basically scaffold. You're trying to do the specific things, maybe at a couple baskets, but you're giving the higher level kid a higher level math problem, or a higher level, English writing. Like, maybe here's your prompt for this English writing rather than this prompt kind of thing. So I think that's and a lot of youth coaches are not teachers, so they don't understand the, kind of how you can use those breakups, but that's really what you want to do from an educational standpoint.
Well, then what do you do in you're running your offense, right? Sally, that's such an old school name. Why does that always first come out?
Johnny and Sally. I know.
Yeah, Johnny and Sally. We'll call it Audrey. That's my daughter's name, so I can talk
it was
better.
Spot, and what was the books we read when we were reading?
Wasn't it Dick? There was Dick and Jane. That was Dick and Jane.
Dick and Jane and Spot.
Spot, yeah, wasn't that?
Remember the dog?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Coach, just put it in the comment if you know what that
is.
Yes. Yeah. So you're running your 5-out offense, right? And Audrey, who's your best player on your team, has the ball, and she sees to her left and her right, maybe there's 2 other better players, and then but 3 and 4 or 4 and 5 are like, they're not there yet, right? So what do you do in that situation? How do you structure that when if you throw to the 4 and 5, it's going to be one of these trying to catch it. It's going to go through their hands. But
I wouldn't do 5-on-5. I do smaller sided games at that point.
what about teaching it though? Teaching, you're teaching.
I would work
it
on passing and catching before I got to that point, I think.
Yeah.
If they literally can't catch the ball. And it's hard. I think the spread is bigger at the higher levels. And
What do you mean the spread is bigger?
Well, I think the difference between the best player and the worst player can be bigger at like the 4th grade level. I think the spread is bigger than like
the spread is,
So that's where I think you have to do more 1-on-1, small sided, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, and put the accelerator. I mean, you have to group some at that point.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to do 5-on-5 when they can't catch the ball, they can't dribble the ball, they can't and you've got kids that can dribble like Kobe kind of thing.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it makes it difficult as a coach for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it does. It is a huge challenge, and I've been there, right? And I always try to find a spot. I always try to find one thing for that player to focus. Hey, you're really good at, I don't know, it can be anything. Setting a screen. I just want you to focus on setting a screen. This is, then I really work with them on setting the screens, right? And let the other person who can dribble, right? Do the dribbling work, right? Or, you know what, you're really good at, rebounding. Okay, I want to place you in a position where you're going to go get the ball. And that seems to change their mentality a little bit too. Okay, I got one thing to focus on, right? And I'm going to go do that. Coach says I'm really good at it, right? So that's the other thing that may help.
Yep, it's the 4 positive to 1 negative too. It should be like 10 to 1 at that age too. And especially with the ones that are challenging. And it's like, you don't want, like I said before, you don't want to be their last coach. So you want to find something that they're good at. And I refer to it as their ego food. What can you feed? You got to feed their ego.
Yeah.
What can you feed it? Like if they're good at screening, they're good. Maybe they're really fast and they can pressure the ball.
That's a good point. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe they're tall and they could be whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
There's usually, you're right, a skill.
And even if it's, hey, you know what, and don't take this negatively, but hey, when you're on the bench, man, you are really loud and your teammates really need that right now, right? We want them to play though, right? Even at, every kid should be playing as much as they can.
As they can.
Yeah, at that, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th grade levels, right? So keep them engaged, give them the one thing that they can really do well. I don't care what it is, you get your team all hyped up, right? Okay, I want you to be the cheerleader on the court, right? Find the one thing.
I know. I think you're right. Okay. Anything else, Coach?
No, I think that's it, guys. Good luck. And drop us a line if you have any questions. Head over to the Facebook group, Coaching Youth.
We haven't talked about that. Leave a review. We like those.
Leave a review for us. We want to hear your feedback, how you like the podcast so far. If you have other topics that you want us to discuss and break down, happy to do that as well.
Yes.
And reach out to us if you just have any specific questions to your team. We're always happy to help.
Awesome. Till next week, Coach.
Till next week, Coach.
Hey, Coach. So glad you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and like before you leave. And also go over and check out tryouts.com for coaches who want to get better. It's got everything and a roadmap for you to become a better basketball coach. So go over and check it out. And let's head back to the next video, wherever that would be.